What's up, everyone? Lou here. So today I just want to go over the recent Warlock changes that happened. Start off with Affliction. We have a 5% overall buff. Sadly, this doesn't really do anything for the class. The spec is still pretty much dead until there is either a change in the tier set or a core change in the talent system for a bit. We'll see how it plays out in Season 4, but for right now, I mean, this 5% doesn't really do too much. But moving on to what really matters here is the destruction rework or destruction changes. So, set bonus, Blasphemy no longer grants Reign of Chaos. This change affects everything destruction does. It affects single target, but it mostly affects their AoE. So every single time that you cast 10 shards worth of abilities, so if you were to cast 3 Rain of Fires and then a Chaos Bolt, you would always get a Blasphemy proc, which would increase your shard generation and also increase your AoE damage just by giving you an extra Infernal. So that is no longer the case. And this is really going to hurt AoE specifically, but it also is a pretty big nerf to a single target because you are able to chain proc your Reign of Chaos in certain windows, especially with Bloodlust and stuff and a lot of haste. So that was also nerfed to single target. So to offset that, they buffed Chaos Bolt by 5%. Incinerate, Immolate, and Conflag also all buffed. So I think it's maybe a 5%-ish buff overall for single target, but it's definitely not worth losing this set piece here. What this means kind of for the meta is I think most people will probably swap over back to Demo just because Demo is still pretty good. Destruction is still playable if you are in a full party and you are doing really big pulls because you're still going to get a lot of value from the Inferno talent, Infernal, and just Rain of Fire spamming. You'll still get a lot of value out of that. But if you're just doing, 15s, 20s, even like lower level 20 keys, 21 to 25s or something, you still might not get a lot of value just out of this. The question is like, why? Why would they do this change now? And I guess they might just be looking at the top runs here, and they're seeing people push 32s, 33s, and like continuing to go higher. And every single comp has one, if not two, warlocks in it, right? So that's probably what they're thinking, that destruction is out of control in terms of AoE, and it seems mandatory in a Mythic Plus group, so they want to change that. That's just my guess in their philosophy. I don't think this is the way to do it, but this is what they are going with, sadly, on the next reset. The timing is also just very strange. The fact that they did it in the middle slash endish of a season rather than just waiting till season 4. I think that is just really inconsiderate of people and their time. People like to make alts to play the game, and maybe in Raid they played like a Hunter or something, and in Mythic Plus they wanted to play a Warlock. You just completely wasted all those people's time if they were, gearing for an alternate like class. So, if you main Warlock, it's not a big deal because you can just swap over to Demo with no problem. But some people may have wanted to play Destruction specifically, and they just kind of taken that away from them. So I definitely don't agree with the way they went about this and the timing of it. Um, these small buffs to Incinerate, Immolate, Conflag, and stuff do not kind of balance what they did to the spec in Mythic Plus. But luckily, Demonology is still pretty strong. You can still have, pretty big implosions and use the Implosion Legendary and stuff like that. Sadly, the Affliction buff was not really going to do anything for the spec, so we're just kind of tied to Demo. In terms of Raid, Destruction will probably still be okay. You can probably still play it on a majority of the fights and be fine, but it'll definitely be doing less damage than it was before, I would guess, just because a lot of the fights had parts where you can get big AoE, such as like Anduin, Lithium, Lahuvium, and also Pantheon. There's just a lot of spots where you can get big AoE value, and that is all kind of dead now. But we will see on Tuesday what happens and what the numbers look like, and if people are able to still push these high level keys, doing 30 pluses with double warlocks after these nerfs. But time will tell. Thanks for watching.